What's up everybody, welcome back. So a quick little video about two improvements on the first person shooter character. So if we look all the way down, we have two issues. The gun is rotating in a very weird angle and we do not have any legs. So let's fix both of these issues in this video. First of all, let's tackle the legs. So I'm going to create a new mesh for that. So let's open up Blender and let's get rid of all the default stuff. And make sure that you set your units in the scene properties over here to 0.01 and your length is set to meters. So we've been using the Mr Mannequin tools in this series and we're going to do that again. So click the little add button over here and you're able to add templates. Let's add the default mannequin. There we go. So we're going to delete parts of the mesh again. So go to object mode, select just the mesh and then go to the edit mode and make sure you go to the faces over here. So the third little square button. And we're going to delete all of the arms and the head. So I'm going to enable X-ray mode over here in the top right. And I'm simply going to drag and select most of the arm and delete it. And do the same on the other side. And now I'm going to disable the X-ray, and if I press L on my keyboard while I'm hovering over a part of the mesh, it's going to select that part. So I'm going to select the head and the remaining parts of the arms. And simply delete all of this stuff. So that should do. So this is the mesh I'm going to use for the first person legs. So let's go to the object mode and let's export it. So select your mesh and your skeleton and go to the export Mr Mannequin option. And we're going to export the mesh, not the action. Make sure it's in a folder where you can find it again. So I'm going to just put it on my desktop for now, that's fine. And I might want to rename it. So let me go to the collection over here and I'm going to rename this. Let's call it first person body mesh. That should do. So select the mesh and shift select your skeleton again, and now let's go to the export and actually export it. So it should be on my desktop somewhere. There it is. Okay. So back in Unreal, I'm going to go to the animation startup pack folder. We use the mesh and animations for the third person mesh. So let's go into the folder where the mesh is. And let me get rid of this because I tried it before. So I'm going to delete this. And you should have a setup like this. So I'm going to drag in the FPX that we just exported from Blender and make sure that you import it on the skeleton from the starter pack. So do not create materials, that's fine, let's import it. And there we have our new mesh. So let's assign some materials to this. The asset details, and this is going to be our body. So that should do. Save all, and now let's open up your first person character blueprint in the viewport. So first I'm going to align this third person mesh a little bit better with the arms, so that makes a little bit more sense. So that should be something around here. Now I'm going to select my capsule component and add a new skeletal mesh, and this is going to be my first person body mesh. And I'm going to assign the new mesh that we just created, so the first person body mesh, and make sure it's nicely lined up. So 90 and drop it down for 96, I think. So somewhere around here. There we go. And now I'm gonna snap it with a unit of 10, and let me check. So the first person camera is 15 units behind, so you want to place this around 15-20 units behind the camera probably, so I'm gonna put it at 35 for now. So my first person body mesh minus 35, and I'm gonna assign an animation blueprint, and in this case I'm just gonna use the default animation blueprint from the animation starter pack. So assign that. And we have animations as well. So on the right side over here we're gonna scroll down, and for the cast shadow you want to disable casting shadow, and then a bit more further down you want to select only owner see, so other players can't see it. And now we should at least have a few lags in game, so let's check it out. So if I look down, there we have our lags. So the blend space for the walking isn't perfect, so that's why you see it twitching a little bit, especially if I walk backwards and hit the wall. So things like that, it's because the animation blueprint isn't perfect, but at least we have a few lags over here. So sometimes you probably can see your chest clip into your arms mesh. So if you want to at least smooth that out a little bit, we're going to go to the animation blueprint for the first person mesh. And we're going to disconnect this and add a layered blend per bone. So we're going to do pretty much the same as what we usually do when we play a montage on the upper body. Only in this case we're going to swap the nodes around, so this walking animation is only played on the legs and the upper body stays in the same position pretty much. So I'm just going to drag in the idle animation over here for the rifle hip and plug that into the blend pose. This could be plugged into the out pose, and then we need to set up the blend like we did previously. So just add 3 branch filters. And the first one is spine _02 with a blend depth of 3 or 4, somewhere around that. And then you want to add the thigh left and the thigh right for the other branch filters, and you want to set those to -1. And now the upper body shouldn't move around as much. So you shouldn't clip into your arms if you're looking down. So that should be a little bit better. So at least we have a few lags now if we look down. And if we fix up the animation blueprint and the blend space, then the twitching should be gone as well. So that's just a little bit more of smoothing out over there. Now to fix the weird rotation on the weapon, that's actually pretty simple. So we're going to open the animation blueprint from the first person arms. And there we have our Aimcorrection, and this is the thing that's actually causing the weird rotation. So over here where we pass on the rotator, I'm going to disconnect it and split it. And I'm simply going to clamp the roll. So I'm going to drag off here and clamp the float. And let's say something about -10 to 10 degrees. And then plug that back in and simply connect the other values straight up. And that should fix the entire rotation issue. So if we look down, the gun stays in the correct position pretty much. And the aim correction is just as much on point. So that doesn't really matter. So that's how you fix that. So now we have a few legs and the gun stays in the correct position. Just 2 small improvements I wanted to share with you. Thanks for watching again, and I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye bye. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked the video or you think you might have learned something, please consider leaving a like. I'll be back for more.